Let's begin. In the next 90 minutes, you will discover why your current Instagram is turning away high-level business and women. I will help you identify the issues that your current Instagram has. And I will also teach you the secret psychological signals to turn your Instagram into a magnet for deals and dates. At the same time, I will also give you a live breakdown of how my 9-second reel made me $200,000 and how any entrepreneur can turn their existing business and life into an online money printer using strategic positioning. Now, this is not surface level strategy. As I mentioned a minute ago, if you are flat broke, if you have no money and no job, this strategy is going to be very difficult for you. You need at least some foundation. But if you are at a place right now where you're making money or you have a business, this is going to be a lot easier for you to implement. And you will see incredible results just by implementing my advice during this presentation. Now, if you don't know me yet, this was the first time we ever ran ads to a free event. So we lost money putting this on. But that means some of you may not know me. And if you don't know me, my name is Jack Hopkins. And I went from flat broke, being an ordinary guy, to building a multi-7-figure business, traveling the world and surrounding myself with elite entrepreneurs and, more importantly, beautiful women. Now, today I live in a beautiful villa. I'm in it right now. I have my friends round. I drive the cars I want. I fly first in business class, and I never worry about paying the bill at dinner. That was a big one for me when I started out. I always wanted to be able to treat my friends. I've built the freedom to buy the clothes I like. Seems like a small thing, but it was important to me. Take my family on trips, treat my friends without stress. And most importantly, I learned how to use Instagram and status psychology to create this life. And in this event, I'm going to show you how to do the same. I wasn't always like this. A lot of you will be sitting in exactly the same position I was 3 years ago. I worked a soul-crushing 9-to-5 for years. I used to look like this, for Christ's sake. How is this? And this is one of my better pictures. I looked a lot worse than this at the time. I had no experience with social media, same as a lot of you. I was shy. I had a private Instagram, which you guys will learn is like a death to your Instagram. You don't want that. I had no status. I was scared of what others would think, and I never talked on camera before. I was a very shy guy, could not speak like this. I had no network. I had $10,000 to my name, and I just quit my job. I had no income. But I knew, as many of you will, that I wanted more, and I went all in. I started with nothing. I was a call center guy. I used to do 200 cold calls a day. Used to drink a lot of alcohol. That's me hungover call center life back in the day. And I just started stabbing in the dark without any guidance. So I posted what I knew about. I tried to educate people using Instagram. I had people laugh at me. I had most of my friends and family laugh at me. I posted daily with little progress. I never got DM'd by women. In fact, my Instagram was turning women away. It was pretty heavily repelling women at a time. I was competing against creators when I started that were followed by millions. And I couldn't really find a way to stand out, which probably a lot of you have experienced. And then I shifted my strategy to status. I stopped treating Instagram like YouTube. YouTube's for education. And I started treating it for what it is, which is a vibe and visual platform. And I learned status psychology and lifestyle design. And I discovered the 5 signals of status. And my Instagram started to grow. And I went from having 900 or 1,000 followers to now 123,000. And you can see here, I use these psychological tricks to repeat this process and blow up my Instagram into the millions of views over and over again. And life started to change for me. I actually got a sponsorship that paid me 5 figures a month to promote on Instagram stories, which is crazy. That was actually $15,000 a month. I was paid for 6 months, as well as a $30,000 upfront just for posting a supplement on my Instagram. Clients were coming to me with their credit cards ready to buy, which is very rare in the info space. Normally there's a big sales process, but my customers were already bought in. And I had people asking to pay to join the New Elite, my private network, to get closer to me just through my DMs and sending crazy sums of money. And this all happened because of status psychology and the way I built my brand. Now, it actually took me 3 years, hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on coaching, courses, mentorships, trial and error. And the same is happening with you right now. This is costing your business and your dating life. Not having a good Instagram, an aesthetic, good Instagram, is costing you more than you could ever imagine. Well, I focused on the wrong things. Other people were outperforming me in business and in dating. And luckily, you can now learn what it took me 3 years to perfect in the next 90 minutes, as long as you stay focused. So stay with me. And this doesn't just work for me. A lot of you will look at me and think, well, Jack's special. This doesn't just work for anyone. Jack has the special sauce. I do have a bit of sauce. I can teach you that as well. But this has worked for other guys. Many students, hundreds of students that I've taught this to, and it's improved their business and their dating life, a few of which are underneath. Now, my goal today is to walk you through exactly how to turn a dead Instagram into a machine that completely changes all aspects of your life, as it did for mine and my students. But this is a two-way street. I need you to let go of your fear of posting for me. I need you to also let go of a content strategy you might be using now if it isn't working for you. And I want you to actually implement what I teach. The biggest difference I see between guys that become successful and guys that stay in the same place is when you have a new idea or you learn something new, is your speed in which you implement those ideas. The faster you implement, the more successful you will become. Now, as long as you guys can promise me that, I will give you absolutely everything I know over the next 90 minutes. I will answer whatever questions you have to try and make you guys successful and give you at least a starting point for you making money through Instagram. But first, there's probably two questions that are on your mind. How do I know if my Instagram is low status? And how do I change it when I don't have an interesting life? But before we get into answering those, let's uncover what the real problem actually is. We teach personal branding different to anyone I've seen in this space. And there's a lot of big names in this space. Iman, Jordan Brown, plenty of guys teaching personal brand. Dan Coe. And I'm not necessarily saying that they're wrong. They preach tactics, hashtags, trending audio, editing, blasting short form. These, in my opinion, are ingredients, and some of them do work. However, the modern audience craves more. They crave connection to something deeper. And I actually use a psychologically backed approach. I don't just teach how to post, but how to connect with people on a deep underlying level. And this is where your whole world changes. How? I have studied the performance and I have broken down my entire funnel for the last 3 years, every data point, every piece of content that I have made. And I know what connects with people deeply and leads to status building. And I'm going to give you my research in this presentation. Once you understand the primal desires of your audience and of women, you beat your competitors with ease. And that's what we figured out. And you will realize that you can turn even simple content into an asset and get everyone playing into your hand using subliminal messaging. What's even better is it's now easier than ever to make 6 or 7 figures a year through a personal brand, even if you're already running a business, even if this is just a side project. And today I won't just claim that, I will prove it to you. We are in a new era of social media. It no longer requires a huge audience or being featured in Forbes to make 6 or 7 figures a year from your Instagram. But every day you delay, someone else is taking the place that you should own. So what should your Instagram represent? Instagram is a status engine. Instagram is not YouTube. You need to get that in your head. It's vibe and status first. It is emotion over logic. That's what wins on Instagram. Now, attention without status is actually pointless. That can create a clown. So having the correct positioning is essential. This is one of my clients I've worked one-to-one with. He's called Joel. Now, Joel has a fairly small social media, but because of his positioning and how we helped him build status, we actually helped him launch his personal brand. He was doing ecom before. He launched his personal brand last month and did 10K, his first month of launching. That's because of positioning, not views. So why is status positioning essential? Now, you guys have probably seen this movie, American Psycho. Absolutely legendary movie. Patrick Bateman's like my spirit animal, I'd say. But in modern day, we no longer have the business card. You know how Patrick Bateman's proper stressing out about his business card? Instagram is now your new business card, and everyone you want to impress will check it. That means women, clients, investors, absolutely anyone that wants to know about you will be checking your Instagram, not your business card. Now, the question is, when they look at your business card, what are they seeing? Are they impressed, or are you easily forgotten? You might not realize it, but looking high status is a massive competitive advantage. Status changes how people treat you before you speak. People judge you before they meet you now. And it's allowed me to access the best rooms and opportunities. It's massively skyrocketed my career. But most new creators fall into the education trap. This is what most people teach. I don't believe it's right for Instagram. The trap of the educational IG. IG isn't a mini course. It is not a classroom. People are not tailored to sit on IG and learn. It is a cinematic teaser trailer for you and your life. And this works because people don't binge content. They binge characters. They follow men with presence, vibe, and mission when they are on Instagram. Now, let's start the repair of your Instagram, fix your life, and make you visible. Guys, before we go further, put in the chat right now, is this all making sense so far? Are you enjoying it? Are you understanding? Do you need me to slow down? Are you taking good notes? Max, let me know what's going on. I'm absolutely wired from that energy shot. It was a bad idea. All right, cool. Let's rock and roll. Okay, slow down a bit. Okay, I'll slow down. I'm speeding up because I'm too wired. Look, today I will share with you the blueprint that uses psychology to build your status. And I call it the G's Guide to Instagram, a system that turns your real life into irresistible status. Put it into the machine, your life, I'll give you the machine, and out pops a beautifully aesthetic Instagram machine that gets you leads and gets you women. There we go. The G's Guide is based off some primal instincts around sex, sales, and status. More women, more money, more opportunity. By implementing this system, you live in abundance, and it actually moves you from a state of chasing everything in your life to attracting things into your life, which is what I've mastered over the past 3 years. I hate to chase. I hate cold DMing. I never do any of those things, but most people run their entire business off it. I don't need to. Without this system, the game will not reward you because it doesn't reward knowledge, it rewards brand positioning. This is why you see creators who have less knowledge than you making more money. I guarantee you have seen a guy online and you've thought, how the fuck? It might even be me. You might even have seen me and thought, how the fuck is this guy making so much money when he doesn't have the same knowledge as me? And that's because you are not judged on the amount of knowledge you have. Your competitors are growing whilst you're staying stagnant because you don't have the system. It's not based on how much you know. It's based on your positioning as a brand. Now, the system that I teach also contains a surprise benefit, and this will be very advantageous to anyone that runs a business. When done right, everything in your life becomes a business expense. Watches, dinners, private flights, trips. It all adds onto the content machine. The content machine brings in revenue and is therefore a business expense. How would it feel if you're running a business right now and every trip you ever went on paid for itself? That when you bought a car, the car literally paid for itself from the content, from the leads you got. When you go on a date, it's content that you use. When you go on a trip, it's content you can use. This is how I live my life. I spend hundreds of thousands a year living a luxury lifestyle, and those hundreds of thousands a year make me $1 million a year because of how I've set up my system. And this system will take you from being invisible, like I was, to international. You become the man who gets invited everywhere. Clients talk about you, they become aware of you, and women uncover the mystery your Instagram has designed. This is very important. And tonight I'm going to show you my full system. I'll reveal the exact playbook and my viral reel breakdown that has made me millions of dollars while traveling the world and keeping very high profit margins. But right now, there's a few things that you need to know, a few things you're most likely getting wrong, and you need to put inside your head. These are some common mistakes that most people make in personal branding. I was certainly making a lot of them. At the moment, you don't realize that a low status IG, how much damage it's doing because you're losing leverage. If your IG has weak positioning, you get filtered out by women, clients, and networking. There's so many opportunities that could have been yours that you're getting rejected on that you don't even realize. The algorithm isn't your problem. Algorithm just means audience. It's your positioning to that audience. Trending audio, hashtags, or fancy editing will not help you create status, but what I talk about soon will. Because at the moment, you're hard to place. You probably don't even know the answers to this question yourself, let alone someone who lands on your Instagram. You have no clear identity, and that equals no demand. You stand for everything, and you're known for nothing. People need a reason to follow you and a reason to remember you, and you need to make sure you have opinions and not be afraid to voice them. So have a think about it. What is it costing you right now not having your Instagram optimized? Opportunities that are going to your competitors, invites that never come your way that you didn't even know existed, time and energy. This is a big one. Any time and energy spent doing outbound lead collection, any outbound source of leads. The whole point of your Instagram is so that people want to work with you. That's how we set it up. Every time you go into the frame of messaging someone to come and work with you from outbound, you're losing your frame, the same as you lose frame with women. And you're paying the hidden tax of being a nobody right now, which I was paying for years. And trust me, it's an expensive task. It's an expensive tax. Got a lot of dates that never happen as well. It's nice when your DMs just come through and it's a chick that just wants to hang out. And you're like, fuck, I didn't even do any work for that. And you can get there. My life did not used to be like this. Over 3 years of research, I've actually discovered something very strange. True power in the IG space doesn't come from giving value. It's not what IG's for. It comes from status. But the window for building this won't be around forever. The window is closing on how quickly you can build status on IG. And today I'll break down exactly how to build a magnetic profile using your existing lifestyle that attracts hot leads and even hotter women. So how do we do this? Let's break it down. I want you to implement the 5 signals of status. So you can write these down as we go through them, but they're visual, social, lifestyle, authority, and network. And they all need to be implemented into your Instagram profile. So, number 1 is visual status. Most people's Instagram, and I want you to bring up your Instagram right now on your phone and just have a look and see if what I'm saying is true to you, because you can fix a lot of stuff right now. Most people's Instagram is shit selfies. It's lads' holidays. It's you drinking beer with 10 friends and having a big smile and a thumbs up, saying cheese. And this is how we get taught as teenagers when we're growing up to set up our Instagram, because we're taught that it's a social media. We're taught that it's just a place to share our experiences with our friends. And we're not taught how much of a powerful business tool it has become. Or maybe right now you're in the place where you have no signals, no status signals. You've got no visual representation. You have no pictures, or you're on private. This is also death for building status, because imagine somebody meeting me and we have a great conversation. And at the end of dinner, you say, call me or reach out to me on my business card. And then you hand me a blank piece of paper. It's not going to be very, very useful if I try and call you on a blank piece of paper. That's the equivalent of what your Instagram is if you don't have it on public and if you don't have at least 9 pictures. You need at least 9 pictures on your grid, and you cannot be private. You also need your name on your profile and a profile picture that shows your face. No pictures of monkeys or anime characters or any of that. This is serious business. This is how I run my life. My Instagram is a very, very powerful tool. High status people, if we talk about the way you build status with the way you take pictures, high status people have pictures, candid photos taken of them, not posing, okay? All of these pretty much are taken of me. I'm not in really any of these looking directly down the barrel of the camera while someone says to me, Jack, say cheese, and then I give them a big smile. This is trying to, Instagram is a window into your life, and it needs to be shown that way. And the way I recommend you do this, and something we do inside the New Elite Network really well, is everybody knows if you're at a nice dinner, if you go out with your friends, if you go on a trip, and you have an iPhone, you're taking videos, you're taking pictures of your friend all the time, and you're doing the same. And then at the end of the day, you send each other the airdrop for the pictures. And every time you do something cool, you capture it and you build it as a habit. Me and Max is my videographer, but also my very good friend. We shoot most things on iPhone. We probably take between 20 videos and 100 pictures a day. And that doesn't take any of my time. It's literally just pictures of my daily life as I live. And the other thing you can do if you really have no friends or you're too shy to get someone else to take pictures of you, get a tripod, one of those small ones, put your phone in it and take a video. Reason you should take a video is it can capture a candid moment. You don't have to pose. Take a quick video, take screenshots from that video, and you've now got pictures. And just when you're working, set it up and take a video. When you go to the gym, set it up and take a video. If you do something cool on vacation, set it up, take a video. And over time, you're going to build a backlog of really nice content. And you also have to understand status signaling. So a lot of people, for example, come to Dubai. They rent a nice car. They take it to a deserted road. They sit on the front and they smile at the camera. Yeah, look at me. I'm doing awesome. That's okay. It builds a tiny little bit of status, but most people see it for what it is. They're like, oh, it's the first time this guy's ever done anything like this. And that's okay. We've all done that before. It's exciting stuff, but I'm going to teach you a way that celebrities do it. What's more impactful, when you see someone sitting on the front of a Ferrari, or when you see a photo that looks like it's been taken by paparazzi from across the road of a celebrity going and putting his bag into the front of a Ferrari, and it looks like he doesn't even know the picture's being taken? How much more mystery, how much more status is there in that picture if that's what's taken? And you could take that. You could decide to take these kinds of pictures by setting up a tripod and taking videos, or by having a friend go across the road and take that picture. So you can think about that not just for cars, but for every picture. How do you make it look subtle? How do you make it look like paparazzi? And this is going to massively status signal inside of your Instagram and fix a lot of things for you. So hopefully you guys are taking that stuff down. You can instantly start making those changes. And let's move on to the next one. Oh, before that, can you see how using visual signals will skyrocket your status? Just let me know if you understand. Max, you let me know from the chat. People understanding? A lot of yeses. Guys, fire a yes in the chat. Yeah, perfect sense. Cool. Just make sure you're all still there. You're all still listening. Fire yeses in the chat, and then we'll continue. All good? Awesome. All right, guys. Number 2, social proof. This is psychological pre-selection. People notice your proximity to power. This is ingrained in us since we had tribe and pack mentality. Using the tips from visual status, you gain authority by association through 3 things: the women that you're seen around, the A players that you're seen around, and the experiences and skill sets that you acquire. Imagine in your life right now, how many times you've done cool things or maybe been to dinner with girls or just with friends that were girls, but you didn't capture any of it. You need to capture all of these things that give you social proof and put them onto your Instagram. That's going to help boost your status because people relate you to the things that you're around. Number 3, lifestyle design. As an entrepreneur, I want you to start thinking of setting up your life to leverage content. A man should not live in his bedroom. I've said this in my Fuck Monk Mode videos. It's an excuse for people to remain introverts, and it's not cool. You should work hard, you should work fast, and then you should go and live. Dinners, travel, cars, watches, all become write-offs when using it in content to build business. And don't you think life's better when you're actually working to live? When you're working to get out of your bedroom to go and live your life, and the act of doing that, the act of going for dinner, the act of going and meeting people, the act of going on a trip is actually putting more money in your pocket. Doesn't that seem like a better way to live and actually build your brand? And my next one is authority. You need to show receipts. There's guys that claim to make millions, but they live a shit lifestyle and never show it. So it actually doesn't matter how much money you make. A number in a bank account, people can't see that number. The personality you show and the life you live matters more. That doesn't necessarily have to be luxury or cost a lot of money. You claim your authority through undeniable proof by showing up daily. You get into great shape. You learn how to fight. You document that journey. None of this costs money, but it's something that the majority of people on earth cannot do. So when you do it and you show up consistently and you show them, you get high quality women. You get more respect. You get more status because these are the things other people can't buy their way into. Now, finally, the network effect. This shows you perfectly how, as a young guy, learning to fight and putting this stuff on social media can change your life. After posting a fight video, I got invited round to Imam Gadzhi's house on the Palm to train together because he saw my video and he liked it and he reached out to me on Instagram. So just this random guy that had not been known by anyone before, by showing character and having a personal brand that exhibits status, I was welcomed into the home of someone that people pay a lot of money to go and meet completely for free. And that all came through Instagram. And that's the power of this. And learning to fight as well as a young guy, because it's something that even millionaires, they can't begin to do. So let me explain how we put this all together and how this works. Your business fuels your lifestyle. You showcase the lifestyle, people follow and become bought into it. Your brand grows, doors that were locked begin to open and deals flow more easily. Women slide into your DMs. Do you see, based on what I've just taught you guys, how you've been using Instagram wrong so far? And has this helped you at all? We're not finished yet, but just let me know right now. Max, give me an update and let me know what the guys are saying. Have we got W's in the chat? Let's get some W's in the chat, guys. Yes. W's in the chat. There you go. Have a go on that again. Put W's in the chat, guys. That's apparently what streamers do. Awesome. It is a tip for you geniuses. Get your phone out and take a picture. There we go. Work smart, not hard. That's what you got to do. You got to learn to work smart, not hard. I know I told you to get a pen and paper out and write notes, but you can just bat, steal that shit. Write out after. There you go. Anyway, guys, let's move on. Let me explain to you now how I implement this system. Okay. Step number 1 is brand positioning. This is what you need to figure out, is how you position your brand. Number 2 is status architecture. And number 3 is content integration. And let me break these down for you. Max, I need that. Just don't take my mouse, Max. Thank you. Step number 1, brand positioning. The reason I'm able to live a life like this comes down to psychological positioning. When you see my Instagram, it subliminally in your head should trigger a response. Do you perceive yourself when you go on Instagram as higher or lower status than yourself? And you can ask yourself that question. Do you admire me? Do you look at my Instagram and do you see me as higher or lower status? That's totally up to you. But if the result is higher status, then my Instagram is doing its job. Brand is built on aesthetic and vibe, and that's what impacts people's emotions. This will affect who comes to your brand and where on the scale people will place you. Are you someone people laugh at and see as a joke or a clown like a lot of the streamers these days? Or are you someone that people come to for guidance? And we want to start building the latter. We want to build the second. And that's done using a strategy. Take a picture of this one. Make sure you have something you stand for. This is very important. The reason I can speak the way I speak, the reason I live the way I live, is because I decided in my head, I stand for freedom. I stand for men living a life of freedom, for men not being put in a box, for not being put in the prison of the 9 to 5. I have a very strong why that keeps me going and keeps me aligned. You also then create an us versus them mentality. This is us versus the world. And you can create that as well. Who's your team? Like if you were a sports team, who's your team and who are the enemy? Create that mentality. Design your personal character. This is very important. You design aspects of your character. It can even be outfits, the way you dress, the way you talk. Design your personal character to be easily identifiable. And the pro tip that I want to give you now that so many people miss is you use music. I carefully curate the music in my Instagram reels to change people's state. You have probably noticed that you like my music. I saw before we got on this live call, a lot of you were talking about my playlist. That is all manufactured. It's not that it's not the music I like, it is. But I've chosen that music because I know how it makes me feel. And if it makes me feel a certain way, it will make you feel a certain way. And the way that music makes you feel is what you then relate to my brand. Okay, that's why Pepsi paid Michael Jackson $20 million to use one of his songs on their ad. $20 million. You can use that for free on Instagram. You can use any music you want for free on Instagram, pretty much. Very, very powerful for brand positioning. Figure out what music you want to use. Step number 2, status architecture. The way you shoot and document your life, as I've talked about, is more important than the quality of your life. I've seen so many rich guys actually lose status from the way they document their experiences because they still think they need to pose like children in every picture, even in front of a private jet, and say cheese. And you can also make a super boring and quite a low income life very interesting by shooting pictures in a way that increases the amount of mystery and an interesting life. And you can create that interesting persona by keeping something secret in the way that you shoot. Step number 3, content integration. This will work very well for you business guys out there, entrepreneurs. I have to run a 7-figure business. I have to go to the gym. I have to have some form of social life and continue to network with people. I date. I now have to recover, and I also have a boxing training schedule. So just know this, having a high status IG shouldn't add more to your plate. This should all be done in the life you are currently living. You're just capturing it. You integrate with what you currently do, and that's called lifestyle design. You get your friends, the girls you're with, to always be taking photos, or you have your tripod set up. And then another thing you can do is you can plan trips for status building. So many people will go on a vacation with their friends, but none of their friends are interested in business. None of their friends are interested in getting in shape. They just want to drink alcohol and go for a blowout. What if you designed a trip where you went to a nice place, instead of spending all the money on alcohol, you decided to look after yourself, stay in a nicer hotel, go to some amazing places, and you went with people that want to build a business, and you actually spend the time, okay, shooting some pictures, building status, getting some girls together, taking some pictures on iPhone, and you use the trips that way. So what a lot of guys do inside the New Elite is these content trips. Very, very advantageous to have those kind of people around you. Now, let me teach you the truth about virality. Because most people think, oh, I need to go viral, I need to go viral. Not necessarily true. Virality without status doesn't actually make you rich. You can have millions of followers and be seen as a clown and never taken seriously. And you can have a large following, and we've seen this many times. We know more about the behind the scenes of the influencer space than most people. There's some guys that you wouldn't believe. They are making absolutely no money from their following other than ad rev. And that's because they don't have the status. So modern wealth actually comes when you combine virality with status. Everyone on this picture, like them or not, has managed to do that better than 99.999% of people on planet Earth. These are some of the absolute best, and we've studied and broken down what they do. So let's get into it with arguably the richest on the list for now. Attention plus status equals the new gold rush. It's not about going viral for the sake of eyeballs. It's about strategically positioning yourself online, in which case you don't actually need to go as viral because you can get more clients from the limited views you have. In a few minutes, I'll do a live breakdown of my viral 9-second reel that made me $200,000. But first, let me teach you the reality of combining status and virality. This is Kylie Jenner. It creates billionaires without ever making a value-based IG post. Kylie Jenner became a billionaire without ever having to teach anyone anything. She became a billionaire not from her product, but because she lived a high status life. She leveraged virality and then positioned her product as the way to achieve it, which was beauty. Be beautiful, live like me through my makeup. And she's become a billionaire from that. That's the power of the internet. It's fucking incredible. People buy who you are. The audience wants to see your life. They want to see that their dream life is possible by seeing you living it. And then they buy the feeling of being you. And the product in between, that's the bridge. That's where your product comes in. Now, you don't need to be a celebrity. You don't need millions of followers for the market to perceive your status, as you can now see. Micro influencers are very, very powerful. And I would say I'm arguably a bigger micro influencer, but certainly not super famous. And we're powerful because we are targeted to an ideal customer. Your advantage for everyone on this call right now is that you might only be one step ahead of the person that's watching you, and making it easy for them to imagine themselves in your shoes, to imagine that transformation. And 1,000 potential clients is far more valuable than 1 million random followers for you being an idiot with no guidance. And let me show you the proof. This is a 9-second reel that gave me 17,000 targeted followers. That was the first time. I just reposted this a few weeks ago, got 5.5 million views the second time. So it's probably gave me 25,000 followers. And it was carefully curated. Didn't take me long to create, but I made it for a reason. It spoke to the desire of my audience. They want to be in shape and they want to have hot girls around them. Physique, gym, beautiful women. That's what my target market wants to see. They don't want to hear me educate on IG. They want to see the result of my system. The breakdown of why this worked is the perfect mix of controversy without being too crazy. It's got some vibe to it with the music. It's got the great physique and it's got a caption. Stay focused, chaps. This isn't porn. This isn't fucking OnlyFans stuff. This is what you can have if you focus. That's the meaning of my brand, showing you what you can have. If I was to run ads, some of you may have experience running ads, but if I was to run ads, a good cost per targeted follower is $7, okay? I saved $120,000 just by making this reel. And it took me 20 minutes to do it from filming to posting. You only need one of these a month to save millions every single year while building your brand and bringing in more clients. The amazing thing is, this is actually repeatable. This formula is not luck. I use psychological positioning to repeat the process over and over again. As you can see here, 3.2, 1.3, same reel, 5.5, 5.16, 4.5, 1.7. This is a repeatable formula. We know the system. It's not just me that has done this. It's not just me and my content. This has worked for many others who I share my system with. Let me show you how this has affected my students' income. This is the money part. So how's a high status Instagram actually going to make you more money? And there's a few different ways I usually see this happen. Number one, the 100K connection. One person in your life can completely change everything. Can add 100K plus per year profit. It could be a killer closer, a lead gen agency owner, it could be a new investor, it could be a new client, it could be a new idea. How much money have you missed out on in the past 12 months because you didn't have access to the best connections? Well, you've missed out on, if you actually wanted to put a number on it, if you look at the best personal brands, not having a personal brand that levels that and how much they're making is the amount you've missed out on. You become who you spend the most time with. This is another major benefit. You access the network flywheel. So high status leads to getting into high level rooms. Business opportunities that are only available in high level rooms come to you. Having a high status Instagram allows me to work with, hire, and connect with anyone I want. And as many of you know, if you spend time with 5 millionaires, you become the 5th. I also use this system to increase business lead flow directly. As soon as I grew followers and people saw my lifestyle, they wanted to get close to me and figure out how I did it. Remember, people buy the lifestyle on IG. This is from the signals we covered earlier. I also use this system to finance my adventure lifestyle. One example of this is just one of many. Trip to Japan, paid for as expenses, and I created content that led to enough sales to pay for the entire trip plus more. When you integrate content and building a personal brand and the right back-end monetization systems into your lifestyle, you actually get paid to live your dream life. And this was the dream of mine. Like, it's such a blessing to be able to do this from social media in this day and age. And now you may be wondering, am I too late? And I would say not yet, but you need to start now. You need to act fast. You're just about to get in for the equivalent of getting into Bitcoin before it took off in 2014. And trust me, we all wish we were in Bitcoin in 2014. While everyone else is focusing on surface level hacks, you actually use psychologically backed systems to reliably scale your business and scale your life. But Jack, how much time will this take me? That's a very valid question. The beauty of my system is that it plugs into your current life. And content is actually the highest leverage activity you could do if you're wanting to create a high-level network, attract ready-to-buy customers, and beautiful women. Everything else you fill your time with is most likely a low ROI noise activity. Remember, this system took me from 9 to 5 to 7-figure profit business owner in 3 years, completely changed my life. And my main focus, I didn't know that much back-end business. My main focus was front-end content, Instagram and YouTube. That's what changed everything for me. So this is probably the highest ROI activity, certainly for me, that you could possibly do. You might ask, what if I'm not a celebrity? Hopefully you know that doesn't matter yet, but just in case, this is my account a long time ago before it took off. And neither was I. People are actually sick of celebrities. The personal brands getting traction now are genuine people. Your target audience buy identity. They don't buy fame. I've already tried posting, but no one watches. Another valid question. And that's because you have posted content before. This is status architecture. It is not the same. It's totally different. This is not a luck game. This is something that you learn and you implement. Your lifestyle isn't flashy. It's another valid question. You don't need to be driving a Ferrari with an Audemars Piguet for this to work. You just need a lifestyle people look up to. And this could be as simple as choosing your own work hours, or being able to travel more than twice a year, or even just sticking to your daily discipline and showing people. Most people cannot do that. They watch you stick to your daily discipline and they admire you, literally by showing up for yourself every day, and then you sell them the system that changed your life. I don't want to be famous. Another valid point. This is where niche-specific status comes into a world of its own. Micro fame within your industry is a powerful yet publicly incognito position, the sweet spot of all benefits of true fame without the drawbacks of everybody knowing you. Is it worth it? Well, I'll tell you what it buys, and then you can decide if you think it's worth it. If you value building a network of high-achieving millionaire friends, being DM'd first by women that align with you and have real burning desire, when you first experience burning desire from a woman that actually pursues you, you'll know about it. It's a very surprising thing and a very nice thing to have in your life. And if you value closing deals with ease and certainty, no more going back and forth trying to bully prospects into deals. If that doesn't sound worth it to you and you don't think that's important, you can leave. You can leave now. That's what you're going to get. And I just want you to know, I wasn't special starting all of this. I was literally failing until I implemented this system. I failed for a long time before my stuff took off. So I actually turned this into a repeatable process, and it works for any entrepreneur looking to leverage their lifestyle and grow their wealth, date hotter women, and take control of their freedom again. And I know you guys are busy. Any entrepreneur is very, very busy. You don't have time to figure this out alone. You want results now. You want to plug and play this into your business. So I've created a done with you system. Now, moving forwards, guys, you have two paths that you can take at this point. Path number one is the DIY approach. This is just going to take a lot of your time and effort. You can use and implement the knowledge I gave you today and try and figure this all out on your own, like I did. It took me 3 years, hundreds of thousands of dollars spent learning the things I've learned. Or you can decide to take the shortcut, and this is for high-level operators, guys that really value their time and know how much ROI this program can have. And you will actually be working one-on-one with me for 12 months for the first time ever. I don't usually work with anybody one-on-one. And you'll get complete access to my knowledge and systems to skyrocket your progress. Complete setup, so custom strategy made around you, access to my entire team, my software, and ongoing support and optimization. And you're going to save a hell of a lot of money by avoiding costly mistakes and wasted time. And you'll achieve results in days or weeks and not in years. Now, this is not a course. You're not left to figure this out on your own. This is elite level infrastructure that we have built, and we'll implement it for you, for guys at the top of their game. Now, this is what I call the new elite bundle. It's the first time we've ever released this offer, and it's for 15 people only due to constraints on my time. I'll be working with you for 12 months. You will get my personal WhatsApp number, a one-on-one implementation call. You will have a fully built and custom-made Instagram strategy, as well as a long-form social media strategy. You'll get exclusive access to an elite network of entrepreneurs around the world for you to connect with, hang out with, shoot content with, and enjoy your life with. That's what this is all about, making more money and enjoying life more, going on more trips and having a great time building that status-driven Instagram that at the same time brings you deals on autopilot. You will also get, for a limited time only, 3 one-day masterminds in person with me around the world at various different locations. And these are full-day sessions with top entrepreneurs and creators, guest speakers, lunch and dinner included, where we'll all sit together and we will mastermind and create and show you the newest tactics, the newest systems that are being used in the space in order to achieve success. You will also get access to the Icon Blueprint. Now, this is my entire system and strategy for social media in a self-paced course, so you can go through it in your own time. You'll also get weekly group coaching calls with me where you can bring on your Instagram, your YouTube, your videos, your thumbnails, your funnels. Me and my team will review them. give you help, give you guidance, give you step-by-steps every single week as we work together throughout the year. You will also get access to my 7-figure backend, my funnels, my templates, my CRM system, all included to plug and play. And you will get invited to our flagship end of year summit included, which is this year is on a 150-foot yacht in Dubai. A very, very fun event. I'll tell you that much. Now, this is not a course. You are not fed information. We actually integrate the systems and infrastructure, and we do it very, very well. What you're getting is a direct one-to-one copy of my strategy with everything you need to seamlessly implement it into your life. Now, if you don't want a life like mine, if you don't want a business like mine, this isn't for you. But this isn't theory, this is execution. You actually walk away with a fully built system ready to run and starting now. So if you've ever wanted to replicate my results, the kind of things I've done with my content and my business, this is your only real shortcut. And what I recommend you do from here, go under this video, book a no obligation strategy call with one of my team, all trained by me. They're going to have a look at your business and they're going to show you how this fits in, how our system can increase the ROI you've got from your Instagram, from your social media and your current life. Have a chat with them. Let's see if it would be a good fit for us to work together. If it is, fantastic. I can't wait to meet you in person. I can't wait to meet you on the phone, but you've got nothing to lose. Book a call down below. Any questions at all, shoot me a message on Instagram. I'm always in my DMs, more than happy to answer any questions. Before you book a call, you can shoot me a message. But if you're ready, go underneath, book a call, have a chat with one of my team and see if this is the thing for you. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you got value from that, and it'll be an absolute pleasure to work with some of you. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one. Whoop-pow!